Coaches all over the country would tell you that bowl games still matter and players should still want to play in them. But players that are opting out are saying that the injury risk is just not worth it. Players don't want to risk their body before they accomplish their dream and go play in the biggest stage of them all, the NFL. Now sit and ask yourself, why would a player want to play in a bowl game? You can go down two different paths. You can say, okay, they want the experience, they want the exposure, and they want to solidify their spot in the NFL draft. Second way you can go is, well, they don't want to get hurt. They don't want to sacrifice their body. They don't want to damage the most important asset that an athlete possesses. They don't want to risk their career in the NFL, the longevity. It's already short as it is, and it's already like a never-ending cycle. You get hurt, you go down, someone comes up, takes your spot, and there it is. There's your career. Ask Drew Bledsoe what he thinks about Tom Brady and how that worked out for him. You know, there's several instances that you've seen in football and sports in general where a guy can't risk getting an injury, especially a guy starting out his career at a skill position, whether it be quarterback, wide receiver, running back. Those positions are magnified much, much harder than a lineman per se or a linebacker. Sure, every position in the NFL is looked at heavily, but you don't want a skill position guy who's shown levels of inconsistency year in and year out. But, you know, if you got a bigger guy that you see some potential in and you think you can shape him into something, then, you know, it might be worth taking a shot on a smaller school lineman or even a lineman who might have battled injuries early on or maybe didn't have the best stat sheet. You know, he could possess some intangible things that make it worthwhile. But if you got a quarterback who hasn't been throwing touchdowns or a wide receiver who hasn't been catching touchdowns, it makes you wonder, man, how far down will they drop in the draft, or you know, what are they going to have to do at the combine and the pro day to be able to wow some scouts? Because a bowl game provides that exposure. They got scouts all over the place looking for moments like this. Check out the Sugar Bowl with Alabama and Kansas State this past week. You had Bryce Young and Will Anderson Jr. solidify their spot in the draft. Bryce Young had some doubters here and there saying, will he be able to be the number one pick? Is he worth it? Too small. Several different questions about his game, but I think he laid the doubters to rest. He put on a great performance, had a phenomenal game, and in those instances, I like the I can show you better than I can tell you type people. I like the people that go out there, lay it all on the line, and just have nothing to lose. He wanted to put on, and he owed it to Nick Saban, he felt, to go out and end it out with a W, end it out with a bang. Alabama had several instances this year where, you know, there was questions made about the legitimacy of the program and the prospects that are going to come out of it in this 2023 NFL draft class. And you can see the same thing at LSU with our wide receiver, Keshawn Boutte. He had a rough start to the year. The Florida State game saw him miss a couple touchdown opportunities. However, he kind of picked things up towards the end of the year. I'd credit him for his SEC championship game performance, that phenomenal 50-plus yard reception touchdown where he's stiff-arming people, get out of my way, repping number 7, down the field looking like a number 7. But in the beginning of the year, you kind of saw a shell of Keshawn, and I don't know if it's him adapting to the new offense or maybe the pressure's getting to him, but those type of moments or what a bowl game can help erase. A great performance in a bowl game for Keshawn on this coming week would mean that teams around the country would be like, okay, this is a guy that could perform like a Justin Jefferson, a Jamar Chase, an Odell, a Jarvis Landry. LSU puts out talent at wide receiver. They're wide receiver U in my book. And I think inevitably Keshawn Boutte is going to have a great career. I think he's going to be able to fulfill his potential. I think he's going to grow into a great player, but he just has to buy in. I think right now at this point he's not bought in. He doesn't want to play college football anymore. Brian Kelly said all year he was kind of dabbling in and out. He was considering, let me stay at LSU and grow my game and potentially win a national championship. But at other times he was like, well, I might be able to make it. I might be able to get in the first round, live my dream. You saw, a couple weeks ago, he said, well, I'm going to stay. Let's see if we can push it, put the statement out, had everyone sounding the alarms. Oh, Keshawn's back, Keshawn's back. It caught me by surprise. I wasn't expecting it. And then you see at the beginning of this week, never mind, Keshawn's unavailable for the Citrus Bowl. Matter of fact, he's going to the NFL draft. So it makes you wonder, what happened? The only thing I can think is Keshawn wasn't too sure in his decision, maybe started having some second thoughts. His agent now, Drew Rosenhaus, was like, hey, man, I'm getting some calls from some teams. You might be able to move up a little bit higher in the projections or on the draft boards. And a good pro day and a good combine performance would help you solidify that. Don't worry about the bowl game. And if that's the case, and if that's the best decision for Keshawn, then look, he made the right decision. However, when we're judging, pulled away from the situation, and when we're just kind of looking at what we're given, I think a Citrus Bowl could only benefit a Keshawn. I don't think a bad performance in this would have hurt him as much as a bad performance against Florida State or what have you. I think that those are the moments that are going to be remembered the most, and since he has nothing to kind of keep overlaying that and keep getting on top of that, they might stick out a little bit harder. A 10-catch, 2-touchdown game in the Citrus Bowl would have had people like, don't even doubt. But right now, he might have some doubters and some murmurs that are going to live with him. I think Keshawn has great potential. I think he's going to be able to fulfill the role that he's going to be called to fill in the NFL, but not every college football player, is going to have a decision as easy as Keshawn. Some guys are going to really have to buy in on themselves and potentially risk a very beneficial final year of college. If you go too early to the draft and you don't go as high as you expect, or you don't go at all, your life can change in an instant. You're already out of school. You already took the shot, ended your college career. At that point, there's no turning back, and now you got to buy in. So I think that's a big thing that players should realize. The bowl game provides a last dance, if you will. You're going to be able to go out, ball out with the boys, make your coaches proud, make the school proud, work on some things that you need to work on, and with that extra experience comes extra exposure. There are going to be a lot of people tuned into these games, especially, in New Year's Six Bowl or even bigger bowls like the Citrus Bowl. I think hold weight in scouts' hearts, especially when it's powerhouse teams like LSU playing. It's kind of hard to, keep that one off the TV when these schools, especially a Brian Kelly-led school who went to the SEC title game, who holds incredible potential. I think, all eyes are on us at this point. So, if you're in a big school, if you're in a Power 5 conference, I'd play all day. I'd play unless you're locked for a first round, top 20, top 15. I wouldn't really leave anything in there. I'm the type of person to want to not leave any stone unturned. But, an injury could jeopardize it. An injury can bring you from 10th to 30th, can bring you from 10th to nothing. So, it's a whole different decision when you're an athlete in the moment, facing living your dream, but also facing a horrible reality that could arise. Leave your comments on what you think you would do if you were in that situation, but also make sure to click the links in the bio, follow us on social media, and stay tuned for exclusive Citrus Bowl coverage on our social media. This has been the Verdin Verdict. Thank you for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button. Thanks for watching.